106 KMEL.
The legend is in the building. Finally got him in here. The one, the only Jermaine Dupri.
What's up?
What's going on, brother?
I'm good. How you?
Welcome back to the Bay Area.
Yeah.
What's going on with you, man?
Man, you know, I'm promoting this new record. It's called Where You At featuring Bow Wow.
Yeah.
It's the first single from my new album.
You putting out a new album, so it's gonna be like collaboration, or you gonna just Bow Wow? What you gonna do with it?
Yeah, no, it's just me putting out just like my first album, Life in 1472, and Instructions. It's gonna be more like collaborating with artists that I never had opportunity to make records with, or it might just be that artist, they whole song. Like this first single is just Bow Wow by himself. I did all the music,
right?
But it's just basically him.
So now you're putting out this whole project. What sound are you going for? You've been on the cutting edge of making music for a very long time.
Yeah,
you've always been ahead of the game. So what we gonna get from this album when you drop it?
I don't really know. I mean, I never really know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I never really know if I'm creating a sound. I don't know really. I just know what feels good to me. So
right.
I feel like good songs and just good melodies and good feel good records is just like a thing of the past for some reason.
Right.
Just records that just feel good, I think. You know what I mean? That's all we can expect from this project. I'm just gonna I was thinking about it last night, and then I went out and I'm like, nah, I'm not gonna change the tempo and I ain't gonna go this place and go this place. I'm gonna try to put out a bunch of records that feel like the same records that I put out, all in the same veins, and see if I can do my little version of Teddy Riley for a minute.
Okay. All right. We're getting the work out the way. When's the album gonna come out?
I don't even know. It's about how many records I put out. You know, it's really because it's a bunch of different marks that I'm trying to hit. Right. It's a instrumental mark that I want to get to. I want to put out an instrumental record that actually performs as well as anybody else's record that's out in the streets. Right. And mentally, that's a difficult place to be, because the people on the other side of the table that's gonna play your records, they haven't seen an instrumental record that has that same type of or is just good enough to play as much as they play any other record that they play on the radio. But we have seen it. I know I saw it. Herbie Hancock did it with Rocket, right? So, and he won a Grammy. So it's possible,
right?
You just got to make an incredible record. So that's one of the feats that I'm trying to, I'm trying to do that with this album. And I'm also trying to make a bunch of collaboration with people that I never made records with. I don't see nobody doing it. I see people going to make collaboration with the same person that they heard somebody else make a collaboration with 2 weeks ago.
Right. See, that's what I'm talking about. I finally got him here, and I told you I was going to ask $1 million questions. You know what I mean? So you're right. Give him some water. We're going to be in here.
Yeah.
We're going to run through it. All right. Now, a long time ago, I heard an interview with you talking about the death of R&B and how R&B was missing, and you want to start a crusade to get it going. I want to know, like, as of lately, I've been trying to find a good love song. For years and years, there was always like one or two good love songs around it, and I don't see those anymore.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, Miguel get one every once in a while, Trey get one every once in a while, but I haven't seen Always and Forever or songs of that in a long time. Where did we go wrong with R&B? And you've had R&B hits, so I know.
Yeah.
That's why I was like, coming in,
it was actually, it's mostly about the act of love and all of this. Like, girls started basically making guys feel soft if they were more into the lovey-dovey side of life.
Right.
If you was a practicer, if that's a word.
It is today. Go ahead.
What is the word? Practicee or whatever. If even a word. If you was a person that practiced chivalry, let me say it right.
There we go.
If you practice chivalry, then in 2007, 2008, 2009, you was considered soft, kind of like, you know what I mean? Like, girls they don't like the guy that actually practice chivalry. They don't like the guy that really, you know, the majority of girls anyway.
Right.
There's some girls out there that still like that, but majority of girls, they don't even know what that is. You know what I mean? So we started losing that the whole being nice to a woman just went out the window.
Yeah.
So then it was like you needed songs that spoke to the guy that they wanted now, as opposed to that nice guy.
Right.
They didn't want that guy that was like being nice to them. No.
When did it hit you like, yo, this is music is good, but it just went a total left? You was like, something has to change. I used to think it when I heard you say it in the interview. I'm like, yo, he gets it. He like, cause looking.
Well, I mean, I was doing Jagged Edge's new album,
right?
When I did that, and it was like, I think that, you know, for one, every artist shouldn't have to make records like everybody else in order to be heard, and that's the problem. That's where it came from. Like, every artist was making records. Every artist has to make a, you know, bitch you ain't this record in order for, you know, for people to pay attention to.
Right.
Almost, basically. It got to a point like that. And it just felt bad because I'm like, you know, I know it's girls out here that want to hear a guy say something nice to them. And I hear about it, but they don't hear about it. So it's almost like how gay marriage was. Like, it was something that was, you know, people wanted to do it and people was trying to do it, but it was like people were shunning it away.
Right.
So even the person that was like the most about it still wouldn't like scream it yet until it got to where it is now. Right. Because it wasn't being seen. That's how it is with this. It's like these girls, they want to talk about it, but then they also feel like, I ain't gonna say nothing here. I don't want to look like I'm old. I don't want to look like I'm, you know what I mean? Like, it's a lot of things that they don't want to look like they've fallen in place of, so they won't really speak their mind. They'll just go with the flow of what's going on.
Right.
I mean, and you see it from them not buying the records. That's what that's where the artist is feeling it at, because they not buying the music. Now,
you've been making records a long time, and you've seen when it went from it used to be love, then it kind of went to like this kind of tough guy era. Then this is a big one. I don't know if anyone's ever asked you this question. Do you realize when you were making records and maybe y'all had a few cuss words in it, and they used to be like, yo, y'all got to change that. You could change that to today's music where it's just blatant. Like, you used to flip it, and you were like, yo.
Yeah, no, I never thought I'd see it like this.
Yeah.
And
it wild to you? Like, yo,
yeah, it's 100%.
You just say that?
Yeah, it's 100% wild, because it's like, it's almost like people don't pay attention. They don't care no more. Like, they don't care about that. It should be always a different version. It's like people ignore the fact that they got kids. Almost, it's like people ignore the fact that they friend got kids. You know what I mean? Like, you honestly want your kids riding in the car when the curse words basically are there. You know what I mean? Like, I don't.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm partially part of one of the people that put out records that curse a lot, but I don't want my kids in the car listening to those versions. So I hate when the radio stations play that.
Right.
I hate it, because my kids is in the car basically muting themselves, knowing that when your parents ain't around, they
singing them loud.
Yeah, that shouldn't be. I mean, it's some things that's just not right.
Right.
And that's just a laziness, and it's also, unfortunately, it's a lot of PDs of radio stations now that are young, and they came up in this era of music. They weren't groomed from that era. You know what I mean? They weren't interns and stuff like that. They just be, because we also live in an era of time where now an older man will endorse a younger person to make himself cool.
Look cool. That's not right.
Yeah, that's not right.
That's not right in any form.
Yeah.
But you know, that's
what's going on though.
And now, the bigger question. I hope you enjoying my joints, man. When I heard you was coming, I had to, you know, I usually come off the head. I was like, I'm asking all the questions. I've also always hear you talk about the power of the DJ.
Yeah.
It's a two-part question.
Yeah.
One, sometimes I feel like our music as urban people don't get accepted and don't get played as much as we should in certain areas. It seems like we get shunned. Like, you can look like us, but you can't beat us. 'Cause
Yeah.
It seems like we're too rowdy, and I don't understand why. Have you had that any like backlash from the records, or from you see the backlash in the music? There's
Oh yeah,
certain
100%.
records that
I
seem-
mean, it's mostly in DJing. It's like that. You know what I mean? Like my whole residency in Vegas is like that to me. It's like this is an EDM playground.
right.
Jermaine Dupri plays hip hop music. Do they love that I'm playing that? I don't think that they love that I'm playing it. They wish I was playing more EDM cross with hip hop to sound like the rest of the DJs.
Right.
But my thing is, yeah, how is this possible? Hip hop is a much bigger art form. The kids in the EDM audience know more about hip hop than they know about the EDM records that they listen to. They act differently, but they know more about the hip hop records, and they're more drawn to hip hop than they are EDM in listening wise.
Right.
Going to shows and festivals is like, for one, it's never been a hip hop DJ festival for us to even test this and see if it's equal or not equal. So my mindset is always that, you know, like you said, our side of it gets shunned. We haven't even seen if we could do the exact same thing as these Coachella shows and this, that, and the third that these other DJs get opportunity to DJ at. So definitely I see it all the time. I feel it all the time. And it angers me because it's like I see how the crowd reacts when I play records. I don't hear, when I'm watching the EDM show, I don't hear the kids scream when you drop a record. Like, oh, I don't get that reaction.
Right.
It's just, hey. They do the same thing throughout the whole
Every
set.
time it drops, they give you that certain scream.
Yeah, it's the same excitement. It never changes. With hip hop, you know, another song, you might put on a different song and the crowd just go into a place that they never went before, right? So that's it's a different reaction. So yeah, I mean, I feel what you're saying totally all the time.
You're DJing now.
Yeah.
You're a super producer.
Yeah.
You've studied the EDM. What is the missing step between you becoming the great urban DJ like EDM? Because all they're doing is they might take your record, take your hook, double it up, add a drop to it, and now it becomes their record. You really know how to produce a record. How are we going to get the Jermaine Dupri show with all your records, like an EDM DJ, with all you, but urban?
You could do it. It's easy. That's not really hard because EDM shows is all it's special effects. It's not music.
Right. The lights and the extras.
It's all about the lasers. It's all about the smoke. It's all about the confetti. It's all about the light show. You know what I mean? Like, and the education of it is first and foremost. That's what we got to work on. Like me, as educated as I am with music and everything, I went into DJing not realizing what these guys was doing. Like Avicii has a light man. You know what I mean? Avicii has a sound and light person.
Yes.
So when his show starts, the lights go out and the people know when the light's supposed to go out. And when the next song comes on, the lights go out. And when it builds up, the lights go out. And when the smoke goes, these guys are paid to do this. This is not club workers.
Right.
So first of all, we as urban DJs and hip hop DJs, we got to take our show a little bit more serious. This is the same thing I said about Mariah that people took out of context. We as hip hop and urban DJs, we have to take the art form a little bit more serious. And when I say that, I mean we got to go get a light man. Understand how much a light man means to the show.
Right.
Don't just stand up there with the lights on high all night, you know, and not have some kind of up and down visual. That's what plays a big role in a lot of EDM music shows, because you know the music has no words.
Right.
You're just listening to sound effects and the same beat, but the visuals is different.
Right.
You know what I mean? I think and I partially believe that's why Kanye is heavy about his visuals and doing the way he does. If you notice, Kanye doesn't actually shoot videos that focus on his face. He shoots videos so you focus on images and visuals and things, and he talks about stuff like that because I think he understands that as well. Like a lot of these artists that become super huge, a lot of it doesn't have a lot to do with the music.
There it is, man. You've answered my question. Yeah, we did the work. Stay close. We got more. And the music coming out again. When's that coming out?
Oh, well, we just dropped a new single, Where You At, featuring Bow Wow. And, just continue to keep listening and look for new music from Jermaine Dupri.
Here's a question.
A new question.
I got one. This one I think like this. What would you think would be your biggest miss, which was still a good record in your mind that it was ahead of its time? It just didn't make it that you put out.
I would say Money Anything.
That was huge.
No, it wasn't. It was huge culturally. It wasn't a #1 record. So it's like I have a long streak of #1 records,
right?
And Money Anything don't go in that list.
Really?
Yeah.
I was young, but like when you said it, I got goosebumps. Yeah, so I was like, really? Yeah. That's like the record.
And I say that because I didn't push a lot of things that I could have pushed on people at that particular point in time. I could have pushed that people were being idiots by not reacting to who Jay-Z was.
Right.
But I didn't know what so you say before his time that I didn't know Jay-Z was going to end up being the Jay-Z that he is. When I made that song, I loved Jay-Z at that particular point, what he was saying and how he sounded and his flow, and me and him had so much in common. So that's why I did the song. But as far as like where he would turn out to be and how the culture would look at him as a person, that song was way before its time. And it didn't do me having a song with Jay-Z, like just think if I had Money Anything right now. That song would be probably the biggest song in the world for the next 10 years. Right? That's what I'm saying. So it's like that.
That's what it is, man. Jermaine Dupri, you're the best, dude.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yo, got more coming up for you. You got to keep it locked. It's all here. 106 KMEL.
Yeah, heard.